welcome back to another episode of my Purdue Boilermakers Dynasty here on the College Football 26, where we are getting ready to start the 2026 season. Went 9-4 last year, ended up losing four of our last five games. But here in year two, we didn't have a game in week zero, didn't have a game in week one, so I went ahead and got the board set up. I've already done a round of recruiting. These are the guys that we're pushing for. Much smaller class, only have 10 guys that are actually graduating. Now, we have plenty of room to add more scholarship players, but really wanted to focus on trying to get as many good to great players as we could. And this is the list that we're going after so far. At quarterback, we got Deshaun Rice. And the reason why I wanted to kind of have less people so I could put the 50 points on them and then we can kind of add people later on. Try to get people actually committed earlier. We do have 600 points compared to the 450 I did last year. So that does allow us to knock out, 12 players I can put the full 50 points on. Deshaun Rice, four-star quarterback out of South Carolina. We obviously have jumped out to a big lead for him. Really good arm. Not a great athlete, but is really accurate. As a freshman, should be good to go. We have a five-star, top 25 player in the country, the number one running back here in David Stenerud. Not overly fast, top end, but he's got good acceleration, good carrying. Got a decent enough juke move. Change of direction is solid. He can catch the ball. Looks like more of a three-down back guy. Does kind of look like he has a unibrow, but we can ignore that. Going after one wide receiver here in Juan Pasco out of Indiana. It's going to be tough, obviously, to try to overcome Notre Dame for this in the long term. Not very fast, but, a lot faster than some of the options that we had last year. Decent enough route runner, but he's more of a spec catch guy, but a four-star wide receiver. Guy that I think will be useful. We are going after a tight end this year after not going after one last year, and we've jumped out to a big lead here on George Gant out of Michigan. He's got good speed, good acceleration, good hands already. Not much of a blocker, but I need a guy kind of in that pipeline to be a receiver for us. Going after a couple of defensive tackles. Really, we've offered Demetrius Simple. I think we're the only people that have. Going to just wait and see, but make sure to put 50 points here on Daniel Tompkins, guy out of Wisconsin. Need some depth there. Brian Volk, four-star guard that a lot of people are after. Right now, we are the favorite to land him. Not going after any centers right now. Going after a trio of edge guys. Ogbu is an athlete, so you never know where he could really end up. But at least right now we're recruiting him at edge. DV is going to be a tough guy to go after. Wisconsin really is pushing for him as well. But Mooney and Ogbu were off to a pretty good start for those guys. Defensive tackle going off after a Jim, four-star. Devin Klegar out of Illinois. I feel pretty good about landing him, at least at this moment, unless Michigan really starts to make a push. But we're trying to get as big a lead as we can. These outside linebackers, I'm kind of just leaving the points off of them right now. Kind of just seeing some losing battles in here, but maybe if we get a quick commitment, we can go back to one of those. Decided to really push here for Desmond Allen at cornerback, 93 speed. The man coverage in a solid spot. A day is just a little bit slower, a little bit worse. So just with the available points I had, decided to go after Allen. Putting 50 points here on another four-star in George North. Not overly fast, but solid enough for us. Already cut ties with a couple people that we were in second for, but, one of them guys was out of Baton Rouge. Well, he's being recruited heavily by LSU, who jumped us. So I was like, okay, there's no real point in going after them in particular. Let's take a look at the depth chart that we got going on here into season two. We do have a new quarterback in Caden Veltkamp out of Florida Atlantic. Had a really good year for them last year. Gives us a senior bridge starter, and then we'll just kind of see where we go from there. Running back, we brought in Justin Marshall out of Colorado State. Did a little practice mode with him. He feels good. Jordan's going to operate as the number 2, and freshman Abdul Volk is also going to play a pretty good bit for us as well. Big thing for him is that deal breaker of brand exposure. We got decimated with the transfer portal this past year. We lost 28 seniors, then we lost 15 people to the transfer portal. Added in a couple of guys, but we took a couple of big swings. With the transfer portal, we had Colin Simmons out of Texas, the one to come here, and we had a safety. I can't remember his first name, but Hubbard was at Alabama. We ended up leading for both of them and then lost both of them. Simmons went to Texas Tech. Hubbard ended up going to Auburn. So kind of missed out on adding some additional depth in that, in other spots. Nitro Togo is going to operate as wide receiver 1. Denylon Morissette, another former Georgia Bulldog. Here at the number 2, Corey Smith took a big jump. I think he was like a +8 as a redshirt freshman. Makes him more viable. Ahmad Branch going to operate as the 4. Maybe sprinkle him in a little bit. He's got some explosiveness to him. Really agile player. I think would actually be a really good gadget fit for us. He's been our punt returner now for the 2nd straight year. Burhen is going to operate as tight end 1, of course. We did move a right tackle, Jude McCoskey, here over to left tackle. He's our highest rated offensive lineman. Marcus Easley, I think, is also another former Georgia Bulldog, if I'm not mistaken, here at left guard. Center, we got Ethan Trent, definitely the weak spot of the line there. Braden Joyner at right guard. And then we got Mark Nave Jr. at right tackle. So the offensive line is similar to what it was last year. C.J. Madden is definitely going to operate as one of our main edge rushers this year. Had a solid year last year, kind of slowed down on the sacks at the back half. I did pick up 5 of them. David Shoemaker is one of our big signings this past recruiting class, former 4-star guy. He's going to get some reps, though, here and there. He's operating as the number 2 at both spots, as Sean Seabrooks is taking over at right edge. Defensive tackle is one of our strongest groups. We were able to hang on to Drake Carlson, who did want to transfer out, but ended up not. Nicholas, going to get some extra snaps this year. Brandon Tyson, Carson Dean, Winston Berglund. These are definitely the 3 guys. Berglund is going to play a lot in our sub-nickel packages. He'll be on the field a lot with that 89 speed. I think is really going to help out. They got Owen Davis. So play here and there. Not a great cornerback room. That's why I want to have as much speed as we can on the field with our sub-linebackers. Just a lot of youth waiting on guys to kind of grow up, and hopefully they perform okay. Got new safeties. They're fine. The defense is definitely a little worse for wear. We got the same kicker. We do have a new punter here in Bondline. Should be okay. Ahmad Branch is going to operate as our main kick returner, and we're going to make him our punt returner as well. Parath is going to be our kickoff specialist. Joyner is going to be our long snapper for what it's worth. Justin Marsh is going to operate as our top 3rd down back. Freshman Abdul Volk is going to operate as our power back. Corey Smith is going to operate out of the slot. Seabrooks, Madden as our rushers with Shoemaker behind them. Jeffries and Moore do have pretty good power moves. Maybe we probably should put Carlson's got that 86 power move. Maybe let's see how it goes game 1. Sub-linebackers will be Tyson and Berglund, as we said. And Bradford's going to operate as our slot corner with Harkless as our nose tackle. We're up to 3 stars. Had a pretty good year last year. Now, obviously, I have simulated the first week, so I don't know if maybe this is going to be entirely accurate. But we started off the year essentially ranked 27th. We're still there. So we're right outside that top 25. I don't think the Heisman is going to have changed very much here through week 0. It is not the same 5 that were there to begin the season. Ryan Williams right now is the leader in the clubhouse for the Heisman Trophy, despite Jeremiah Smith coming back, having won it last year. Lenore Sellers, Nico Iamaliava, and then Isaac Brown ended up transferring from Louisville over to South Carolina. Let's take a look at the scores that happened there in week 0. Should not be actually way more than what I thought it was going to be. So let's can we do just top 25 matchups? So you had Miami had a disappointing run in the college football playoff. They lost their first game, but do bounce back with a win here. I'm assuming they have to have a new starting quarterback. Carson Beck graduated. So it'll be Fernando Mendoza. Okay, so he transferred out again. That's a little crazy. Nice. Good pickup, though, for Miami. We had SMU over Missouri State, Florida over Washington State. Duke has been really good in this series so far. Get a nice victory over UConn. And then Notre Dame, one of our big rivals there over in Michigan State. We'll simulate here past week 1. And then we'll hop in. Our first game is going to be at home against Wake Forest. This is definitely a tougher schedule than we had last year. Got a lot of home games again early on. We do travel to Notre Dame in our third matchup. But then it's, start going on the road. 5 of our last 6 games are on the road. So it's going to be tough for sure in certain spots. We're really trying to, raise up as much as we can from our stuff. Brand exposure is the biggest thing that we have. Campus lifestyle, you can improve that, but brand exposure is something that we can. We've had 10 nationally televised games. We've won 7 of them. Need to keep trying to eke that forward as much as we can. I don't really know if without playing some games of the week and playoff games, whether or not you can really raise it up. I'm assuming if you consistently are playing nationally televised games and winning them, that'll take a jump up. But that is by far the biggest detriment that we have. That along with coach prestige, we just got to keep moving it, keep winning, and we'll be fine there. Coach stability is obviously something that'll come around. We do have some positives. Going to try to open up the offense a little bit more. So we look really good here for Stenerud. Brian Volk was still the leader in the clubhouse here, but that looks like it's going to be a tight race, especially if Michigan really jumps in there. Keglar would look really good at getting him a defensive tackle. Pasco still looking solid. North were looking good. But what I really don't want to do is waste a bunch of points on guys that I don't think we're going to get. That's why I jumped out of that guy from Louisiana. He's from Baton Rouge. LSU is obviously recruiting him hard. I just immediately jumped out. We just don't have the points to spare, and we need a big influx on talent like this Mooney guy, edge. Right now we're still putting in enough to overlap whatever Ohio State is doing, but if Ohio State starts pushing for him, it's going to be tough for us to overcome that. George Gant looking good there. Prince, we're just not putting any points on him or Duarte. We can hold for right now. Allen, we're looking good for. We're looking pretty good here for Tompkins. I really want to get these 12 4-star and up guys and then kind of backfill, some depth positions beyond that. But yeah, we got a matchup here. We're actually back into the top 25. Thanks to, I guess, some people losing in the top 25 last week. So we are going to start the season actually ranked 25th. We'll take a look at what happened, though, in week 1. We had Ohio State with a victory, of course. Tennessee with a victory, of course. A&M with a good victory. Penn State, Michigan, Oklahoma. Auburn with a victory over Baylor. Iowa State. Texas Tech won the national championship in a huge, surprising run this past year. They start off with a 1-0 start. USC gets a win. South Carolina ends up beating Miami. Again, South Carolina is loaded with talent here. Lenore Sellers has an okay game through the air, but 3 touchdowns from Brown with just under 100 yards. Bothwell also finds the end zone twice. They're able to pull off the victory there at home. I would not consider that an upset, no matter how good Miami is. Notre Dame with a victory. Texas, BYU, Oregon. Oregon struggled last year, but kind of finished hot, so we'll see how they do this year. Duke is now up to 2-0. LSU over Clemson to get the year started. Noah Fafita ends up transferring into Clemson. That's kind of it's hard to, I guess I need to spend time, especially because my offseason episode only ended up being like 35 minutes, kind of looking to see, especially where like these top quarterbacks and stuff end up transferring to. Holstein, so the Pittsburgh quarterback, they had a really good fourth quarter, and their come from behind victory against us over the final 4 minutes of that game ends up starting here at LSU. A couple of touchdowns from guys there, Bryant Westco, Tyler Brown. Lawson Lucky ended up transferring out from Georgia, goes to LSU. Nick Anderson. Okay. So solid victory there for LSU, and definitely I'm assuming that was the game. That or the South Carolina game were probably the games of the week. Georgia barely survives Arizona State. They're the top-ranked team. Got out of there without suffering a defeat, and then we had Washington over an FCS team. So, yeah, it's going to take me a minute to probably get used to these new players, but that's kind of just a brief overview of what we've got going on so far. This Wake Forest team is substantially worse than us. We have regressed in overall talent from last year. Again, it was a very senior-laden team that were kind of in that high 70 range. Lost out on a lot of those guys. We had some good development at certain spots, particularly a wide receiver. So maybe the offense will be a little bit more explosive, but this is a game we have to get off to a good start. It is going to be at home. See if we can take on the Demon Deacons with how bad they are. I don't know whether or not this will be a nationally televised game. I probably should look that up, but probably. I mean, it's two power conference opponents playing against each other. We're starting off the 2026 season at home. The world's largest drum getting banged on. I am excited to be back here in year 2. See if Caden Veltkamp can lead us to a big season. We talked about it in the bowl game. Purdue has not won double digits, has not won 10 games in a season since 1979. We're up 3 scores. We're up 20 points with 4 minutes to play in the bowl game. Missed onside kick that Pittsburgh ended up recovering, kind of led to them eventually winning the game with 4 seconds left. I'm going to try to bounce back in a big way this year. But let's get things started. Still kind of working on the wear and tear sliders that I want to use. I've lowered the impact of wear and tear while also adding to the recovery, because I want to be able to use some of our guys a little bit more often than I was able to use Maccabee, who did still end up being a second-team All-American for us last year. But he would completely just disappear in a lot of these games. Noah Rogers is now transferred yet again. I believe he was at Ohio State and then North Carolina State. He is now the leading receiver here for Wake Forest. We haven't taken a look at their roster. That is something I forgot to do. So we'll take a quick glance. At least you guys get to see that I am still on Heisman. So per Wake Forest, they've got a freshman quarterback that's actually really, really good. Okay. Got a decent running game. Couple of really good wide receivers, of course, with Rodgers leading the way. Decent at tight end. The offensive line, rock solid all the way across. Edge rushers are pretty good. Linebackers are solid enough. Good cornerback room. So that'll match up against our new look wide receiver room. Got some speed at free safety. Looks really solid for a team that's a 69 overall. But we are underway here in season 2. Wake Forest going to take it. It's going to be a play action to start things off. Dump this out to the right side. That's going to be almost a first down. No pass rush. That's one thing I'm worried about. We lost everybody except for Madden. It was a really good edge rusher for us last year. It'll be a quick pass. Tyson on it quickly. His first tackle. Wake Forest is going to be a very RPO-heavy team, I am assuming, what they kind of are in real life with like a slow mesh offense. That one gets blown up. That is number 1 there on the tackle. So Bradford makes his first play there out of the slot. That was a real key position for us. This is another good handoff. Bradford again with another tackle. Already with 2, he's going to set up a 3rd and 9. Chad Brown was a Thorpe Award guy, second-team All-American. He's a really good player for us, so a lot of shoes there for Bradford to fill. They go empty here. Going to squeeze that in. It's going to be a first down. Noah Rogers. So a quick hitch. Purdue's one of the best defenses nationally last year. I forgot to increase the minutes there again. Good run here now as it explodes into the secondary. Mongreen's first real good run of the day. Still don't know how aggressive I want to get with this team and with this roster. Just dump down. Not getting any pass rush. Just having all day to throw. And we need to send an extra person or 2 here and there. We're going to send somebody here. Going to be a read option. Great play out there by Moore, able to drag him down for a loss of yards. That's going to set up a 3rd and 5. Make sure we're sending 4 here. It's going to just heave this one. Can we knock it away? We do. Got to take a shot there to Noah Rogers. So do force the field goal attempt here. Probably the most significant, iconic moment of season 1 was against Indiana, as that is going to be off and he misses the field goal. Game against Indiana, score is 10-10. We've struggled all day offensively. Rael comes off the edge, blocks the field goal. Jamarius Dinkins, our All-American defensive tackle, ends up taking it to the house. Ended up winning us that game. Come out here, Justin Marshall in the backfield. We're going to try to dump this off quickly. Smith's first catch, the gain of 4. Aiden Veltkamp's first pass is a completion for Purdue. Abdul Volk, the freshman running back, is tackled down at the line. Already a quick 3rd and 6. Tuggle comes across. Veltkamp takes the snap. We'll dump this underneath Smith's already his 2nd catch of the day. Gets a first down. Veltkamp was excellent last year for Florida Atlantic. 30 touchdowns versus 3 interceptions. Decided to take a step up in competition. Abdul Volk's first big carry of his career goes for a first down. Already 2 carries for him. Trying to mix in all 3 running backs a ton. Justin Marshall now in the Colorado State transfer. He's going to get the ball his first time. Breaks a tackle there. Almost gets a first down. He feels really good in practice. Feels explosive. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. Now 3 wide receivers here again. Veltkamp will take this, dump it quickly off to Burhan, our leading receiver last year. It's a first down. Kemp takes the snap. Work this underneath again. Corey Smith already his 3rd reception. I see kind of a lot of what we did last year where it was Magwood, Tuggle, Burhan. I think that's going to be a very similar look as to how we operate this year. I think it's going to kind of be Smith is now going to be the 3rd guy with Tuggle. Burhan, nice pass there. Burhan takes this inside the 5, down at the 1-yard line. Could not quite score, but a big play for him. We go 3 wide receivers. Burhan out in the slot. It's going to be a direct snap to Marshall. May have gained a few inches there. Marshall's still out there. 3 wide receivers. Now got Burhan in line. It's going to be a handoff, and Marshall is going to get into the end zone. His first touchdown as a Boilermaker and the first touchdown of the season here. Purdue able to get the defensive stop. Led to a missed field goal off the upright. And go down and get a score, a 10-play drive. Pretty typical to what we saw a lot of last year, a lot of underneath passing. Making it work on 3rd down. Some inconsistent run blocking. But it's a 7-0 lead. Big goal for this season is to try to, improve off of the win total from last year. That's getting into the double digits. Schedule is lighter in some ways, but again, the more away games are certainly hurting us. We do have Penn State this year, but we do avoid Ohio State and Michigan. So there are some positives to it, but more road games in conference going to make it tough. See if the defense can play a little better this drive. It's going to be a handoff. Great play out there. I believe that's Seabrooks. Yes, it's his first tackle for loss. Now a 3rd and 6. It'll be the end of the first quarter. It's a 7-0 lead for the Boilermakers. Looking to get a defensive stop here on 3rd down. Averaging 7 yards per play is pretty solid. But through stretches and games last year where that number was around 5 for sure. I'm out kind of the same look here. I'm going to try to send a little pressure. And it's a screen. Nobody's over there. It's going to be a first down for the Demon Deacons. Demon Deacons. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. Let's just do it's going to be a pass. Great throw. Big first down. Pressure doesn't get there. Delivered a really catchable ball there to Amador. Another first down. You send the pressure, it's got to land. It's going to be Read option, great block there. Freshman looking good. Olkey. I guess that'd be how you would say that. Olkey now is going to take the snap. And try to scramble around. Great blocking again. Okay, so we're going to have to mix and match some things up here. All right, so let's drop this into a cover 3. We'll put Seabrooks in the spy. They do throw it here. Still got to get pressure to him eventually. Going to dump it short. Put Madden in the spy. Throw wide. Gets a gain of 2 out of that. I'm not going to let him sit around and scramble on us all day, even if it means a little less pass rush. Underneath the spy, Madden is able to make the tackle. Another stop. They're showing like they're going to go for it here. Inside, I had him covering on the inside, ends up making a good throw there to Rogers. It'll be a first down. Handoff, touchdown, Wake Forest. The defense is, at least early on, doesn't look quite as good as it was last year. We'll see if that ends up playing out. This is a game we've got to find a way to win. Almost blocked the extra point there. Wake Forest had a couple of long drives. We, of course, had a long drive as well. 7-7 Purdue. We do start the second half with the ball. Harris will get a chance to return this one up to the 19. Back out here on offense. Marshall in the backfield. Belkamp's going to take it. He is going to hand it off to Marshall. Just a gain of 1. Let's see. Belkamp takes it. Dump that quickly to Marshall. Again, nothing on that, though. Now you're in danger of this being a pretty quick drive. 3rd and 9. Belkamp's got good accuracies. Take it. Tries to fit that in. Looked like the linebacker was lurking towards the outside. He cuts back in, and Belkamp throws his first interception of the year. Not a great start here for the home team. Got to make that tackle. Doesn't end up hurting us at all, but Tyson missed it. Saw the linebacker peeking out. Thought I could throw the dig right behind it. Just threw it a half step too early. Going to be a handoff. Seabrooks runs him down again. Seabrooks made a couple of nice plays when they've let him run free. It's now a 3rd and goal. Throw over. Touchdown for Wake Forest. Aaron Hamilton is getting to stand there in the pocket. The interception from Belkamp essentially nulls and voids the the first drive missed field goal for Wake Forest. Okay. Got to take care of the football. This is a Wake Forest team that's offense is not that good. So far, we are really struggling to stop that at all. See if we can get a better start here on 1st down. Belkamp's going to take it. We set up a screen. It's Joyner. It's blown up. That is a humongous loss. Now, this is not the way we wanted this game to start. Struggling a lot defensively. Belkamp takes the snap. Gonna throw this. Tuggle able to catch it. 3rd and inches. Almost gets the 1st down. Nice play there for Tuggle. So it's just going to be a hand up to Marshall. Explosive run for him into the secondary. Gets across midfield. At the 2-minute warning. And we start off with the ball to start the second half. Upcamp takes the snap. Oh my God. I thought I had him on the drag and he didn't drag. It was almost a really bad situation there. Upcamp, quick snap. Gets this in, a tuggle, incomplete. Let's see. Camp takes the snap. Squeeze that in, incomplete. Not a great start. They're trying to get off a decent punt here. Tackling him down inside the 20. Okay. The defense is going to have to play better regardless. Going empty. Puts Seabrooks in a spy. It means we're not going to have any pressure. He's going to have all day to throw the football, but so just a dot up the middle. Thankfully, he overthrows him. Whew. Nobody there. Tight end in line, 3 wide receivers over to the right side. Quick screen, just make the tackle. 3rd and 5. Don't need to come out in the goal line there. They do take the timeout though. Come on, let's get a stop. Knocked it away. Great play out there by the cornerback. All right. Punt is away. Branch should have some room to run with this one. Doesn't have a lot, though. Takes a snap. That one almost intercepted. All right, we can't. Got to stop just dropping passes. That's for sure. Offense all of a sudden looking lost. Tries to throw a bullet, tuggle. Somehow ends up bringing that one in. It's going to be a first down. Upcamp takes it. Tries to just float that when they take a hit. Clock stops though. Let's see. Upcamp takes the snap. I'm gonna try to bury this one in a tuggle. Gets knocked away. We're just dropping everything right now. All right, let's see. Snap. Fit this in there wide. Morris set. Let's not get the first down. It's the 4th and inches. Let's take a timeout. Got a couple to work with. It's a 54-yard field goal. We're going to go for this instead. Okay, ready? Got to spread them out. We're just going to hand this ball to Joyner. Hopefully we get the block up front. We do. He gets the first down. Let's take another timeout. Takes the snap. Tried to throw that one, buries it. Sorry, my controller, for whatever reason, cut off. Upcamp takes the snap. We'll try to just bury this. End up getting it out. Okay. Still got a timeout to work with. Takes a snap. Oh my God, threw the wrong button. It ends up working out anyway. It'll be a first down. Belcamp takes the snap. He's going to dump this off short. Marshall can't outrun him. Take a timeout and kick the field goal here. So definitely a back and forth first half here. Unfortunately, Belcamp throwing an interception is not great. Not the way I wanted things to start for him. Make this field goal, we do. So it'll be a 14-10 game here. Going into halftime, we do start off with the ball to start the second half. Probably should run the ball a little bit more. Trying to make this a little bit more exciting of like an offense, but had a couple of bad plays mixed in there. Screen play is not working great for us. That was obviously a crucial part to last year. We do get the ball to start the second half, see if we can take the lead. Defense has definitely got to play better. Played a little bit better there on that last drive, but got some young pieces. We got to figure out how everything's going to work together. Branch gets it to the 19. Let's get us off with a run here to Volk. Looked good so far. A lot of guys in the box. Still a handoff to him. It's maybe 2. Got 3 on that, okay? Send Marshall in motion. Belcamp takes the snap. Dump it out to him. Does not get the blocking help he needs. We'll set up a 3rd and 4. Let's see. Tackles. Hoping just to get Burhan on the leak out. Belcamp takes it. Do you get it to Burhan? He's going to get the first down barely. It'll be a handoff to Volk. He's got room to go. Delivers a blow. Big run. The freshman looking the part here early in his limited touches. And get replaced with Marshall now. It'll be a handoff to Marshall. He's quick. He got some burst to him. Gonna take a little getting used to for sure. Sorry, my alarm's going off. Take a look at this RPO, see what it looks like. Love that. We'll just go straight to an inside zone. Gonna be a handoff. Thought he had a hole there, but the blocker ended up kind of turning back to the inside. It's gonna be a 3rd and 2. I would consider this 4-down territory for us. So we're gonna try to hand it off to Marshall here again. A handoff to him. He's gonna get stopped. Okay. RPO leaks. See what this looks like. They're backed off. Probably get it out to Marshall here. Marshall comes out. Yep. Oh! Almost didn't press the button in time, and instead it's going to be a big play for Marshall. Ends up working out. Thought I pressed it. It didn't receive it. Saw the guy come on the blitz. That being a nice play there. Belcamp to Marshall. Burhan now coming across, going to dump it off to him. Gets forward, gets inside the 10. Let's get Marshall. Look like he was a little tired. We'll take him off the field here for a second. Bring in Volk. Runs through a couple of tackles there. Volk inside the 5, down to the 4. Take that. Try to set up this drop off here again, I think. Gets it out to Burhan, who gets into the end zone. The first passing touchdown for Belcamp, and of course it goes to Burhan. Had 5 receiving touchdowns last year. Does it here again. Kick is up. The kick is good. It's a 17-14 lead. So 2 back-to-back pretty strong drives here for Purdue. One of them before the half leads to a field goal. That's a good drive to start the second half. Big 4th down play for sure. That was a part of that. Tackle him down. All right. See how this defense can play here in the second half. Come out of that. It's going to be a direct snap to the running back. Great tackle there from Bradford to get some help from Seabrooks afterwards. Smiley Bradford. It's a good name. All right. Go 5 wide. Try to scramble, so throws it away. So 3rd and 11 here. Like that will show man. Instead, cover 3. Madden and a spy. It's going to be a sack anyway as Seabrooks comes quickly. Beats his man instantaneously. Gets the sack. Purdue now with a chance to actually build a lead here for the first time today. See if they are able to do so. Punt basically out of his own end zone. It's a good punt though. Branch is going to catch it right at the 40. He's going to immediately get tackled at the 44. We'll start off with a little bit more Volk action. This true freshman looked good. Missed the hole there. Could have been a big run. So a gain of 4. Let's see. Marshall here now going to get this touch. Puts it back. Gets a gain of 5 out of it. Just go halfback dive. Just try to run it again. Kind of in that same situation. You're in no man's land. 4 down territory. It's going to be a handoff to Volk, and it's an explosive run. Nobody up the middle. Is inside the 25. George Burhan, leading receiver last year, is banged up on the play. Hopefully he is okay. 72 yards for Volk. Just going to keep running it. Hand off to Marshall. That time he gets stopped. Okay. Bruised ribs will let him rest up here a little bit. Sherman is not there. I don't know that we had a single other tight end actually touch the ball last year. Belkamp takes it. Gets it to Sherman there quickly. Gain of 4. We're going to try to set up this pass out here to Joyner. It's out in motion. Get it to him. He's got the blocks. Joyner inside the 10. And get pushed out at the 7. And we've been really fishing in what we're trying to do today. So far, so good. Obviously would have liked to have not thrown the interception. Yep, takes the snap. Get this into Tuggle. Saying he did not get in. Let's see, stop at the half-inch line here. Literally. See if we can get Marshall a score. Let the clock run. Handoff. Marshall gets in. Purdue now gotten a little bit of momentum. Now scored on 3 straight possessions. We're down 14-7. Now it's a 24-14 lead. Good kickoff away. That should be a touchback. He's going to bring it out. So a couple of big shots there. Out at the 12, so he certainly should not have taken it out. We've had the ball so much that now all of a sudden Wake Forest is in a bad spot. Great open field tackle there. I think Seabrooks right now would probably be our thumbnail player of the game. Unless you just want it to be, you know, a Veltkamp. 10-point lead. Spread around the targets. Corey Smith, Tuggle. Denylon's even gotten a couple. Burhan, of course. His underneath stuff does have a touchdown catch as well. Otherwise, Marshall has scored 2 touchdowns. Volk has looked really good. Defense has looked okay. Got to just find these guys' strengths and then play off of that. Try to set up the screen. It's a good one. Things 9, now it's 3rd and 3. I don't know how much Minnesota likes sending 150 people in on the blitz here. Takes a shot. That is going to be a long touchdown for Noah Rogers. I went for the big hit with the safety, and he just crumpled to the ground instead of actually taking a shot. Noah Rogers scores. That's a long touchdown. Now Purdue has to be really good on offense again. Is that an 80-yard touchdown? That was something we didn't give a lot of those up last year. Now we gave up some just deep ball heaves. Jump over guys, touchdowns. Branch almost caught a seam there. All right. Back out on offense. Got to go score again. It's a handoff to Volk. Good blocking up front. Charges forward. Henderson runs really well right now. Nice gain for him. Marshall now comes out. Try to dump this to him. I don't know why. I guess it's just part of the play that 12 does not block that first guy. Needs Smith to be blocking somebody, though. Metcalf takes the snap. Gonna throw that wide to Tuggle. Is going to take it back to the outside, and number 2 down the sideline. Touchdown. It came with a blitz from the outside, and Nitro Tuggle strikes. Got it out there to him quickly, knowing there was nobody in the vicinity. Able to get just enough of a block there from Smith. Tuggle then cut it as soon as he caught it right back to the outside. Got the block from Smith. Tuggle, the fastest player on the team, 93 speed, takes it the distance. Create a little separation here again. Do back up 11. Back up 10, excuse me, bad math. This time, we'll take it for a touchback. That's like that sending the blitz, and then nobody gets there, and then you're trying to play man-to-man. You miss a tackle, and it's a score on their last play. Oh, it's empty. With Madden in a spy. Quickly over. Rodgers again, set up a 3rd and 3. He's going to scramble. I didn't put up the spy that time. Just barely got enough for the first down. I don't want to put up a spy every play. Bad throw. And I get put in that awkward spot where if I drop, then he scrambles. It's an easy first down. Creates a big throw behind me. Thankfully, he misses it. Let's go spy here to Madden. 2nd and 10, empty set. Throw that over quickly, able to break the tackle. Finally gets knocked down. It's going to be a 3rd and 5, though. I don't know how you don't put Madden in a spy. That is, I guess it works. That looked like a really bad pass off the hands. Are they going to review that? He got a foot in bounds. I did not challenge that. Yeah, okay. We'll say I think that's pretty clearly a first down to me. Come on. Make the tackle. Gain a 7, though, quickly on the slant. That's just quick slant there to the tight end. Zinger, second catch of the day. Thankfully, that one falls incomplete. They're killing us because they're like creating some shot plays down the field, and they're dumping it off underneath, and it's working. Try to scramble. This time he's going to get a first down. And I guess I'm going to have to put Matt in a spy every play. Didn't want him to throw the slants over the top there, so you kind of back up, creates that opening. Breaks 4 tackles in there. Okay. Do throw it here. Got a wide open guy, touchdown. I'm trying to, sometimes I do too much moving around. That kind of left the opening right over the middle of where I was. I don't know if I could have done anything with that pass anyway. Wake Forest just refusing to go quietly. This defense does not look great, to say the least. Up to the 20. Got to get a couple of first downs here. Hand off to Volt. No room. So, what we can create here. Burhan is still not out there. For some reason, all of our guys are in the negative. Camp. Gets that to Tuggle. Breaks the tackle. It's a pretty solid play out of that. Make Wake Forest use their first timeout. Camp takes the snap, jump out, dumps this over. Sherman, let's make sure we get the first down. Wake Forest uses another timeout now. Tuggle again, just underneath. But now use all their timeouts. Let's make sure we get a first down here. This screen again has not been very helpful today. Camp got it set up this time though. Can he get the blocks on the outside? He does. Marshall's going to get the first down, weaving through traffic. Gets it to the 50. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Can't completely run out the clock, but you can certainly help yourselves a first down here, and the game is over. It's a handoff to Marshall. Got some explosiveness, good blocking. It's a first down. Now we can take the knee, get away with the victory here. 31-28. The defense did not play well. I thought the offense was pretty good. I made the one mistake on the interception. Didn't really put the ball in harm's way anywhere else. The defense has got to be better than they were in that second and fourth quarter. Marshall is considered the player of the game. 12 attempts, 57 yards. I think Abdul Volk looked great. Joyner looked okay. Didn't get to touch the ball a whole lot. Big day for Nitro Tuggle as well. I thought Camp looked pretty solid. The defense, we need more than just Seabrooks, though. And he was clearly the leader in the clubhouse today. On that side of the ball, thought we played decently well on some of the deep balls, but then Noah Rogers hit us on the one play. I mean, we easily outgained Wake Forest in this one. Yards per rush were much higher. Yards per pass were a little bit down, but again, they had the 80-yarder. We had a big play to Tuggle. But we had more rushing yards, more passing yards. Both teams were 7 for 11 on third down. That's crucial. Both teams were perfect on fourth downs. They came away with no touchdowns in the red zone. Is that the way I'm reading that correctly? We did lose the turnover battle. One time of possession, yards per play were pretty similar. We just happened to run more of them. Being able to go get that field goal before halftime to then lead to the touchdown on the drive coming out, we get a stop, we go score again, gave us definitely a little bit of living room to play with. Veltkamp here in his first start, 28 to 35, 257, 2 scores. The interception, again, is my fault. I threw it a half second early. Good play, though, by the linebacker. Marshall finds the end zone twice. Abdul Volks, 9 carries, goes for 86 yards. Joyner just the 1 carry. We did take a sack, I guess, there with Veltkamp. Tuggle, 7 for $117 score. So he had a nice first game, 59-yarder, did have a drop. Smith, 3 for 12, thought had more opportunities, but did have 2 drops. It could have been pretty decent plays. Marshall looked good out of the backfield. Burhan got into the end zone, dealt with his little injury. Sherman had a couple of nice grabs for us, ended up being first downs. Morissette, Joyner, Branch, not a whole lot working really for the rest of these guys. Thought the offensive line played well, was a little inconsistent in the run blocking, but did well in pass protection. Berglund comes out, leads his team in tackles, has a nice first game, 8, 2 tackles for loss, a half sack. Tyson with 7 tackles, Bradford 6 and 2, Seabrooks 5, 4 tackles for loss and a sack. He was the clear best player on the defense today. Madden 4 and 2 tackles for loss. Unfortunately, spent a lot of the time just in the spy. We didn't have any interceptions, no fumble force, anything such as that. We were perfect with Parath, which is always a good sign. Only punted the 1 time. So overall, it was a really good day for the offense. But Wake Forest did their thing on offense as well. Olkey, 22 of 28, 238, 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. He also ran the ball, gave us some fits there. Clark did find the end zone. They did not run the ball well with their running backs, but did have success with the quarterback scramble. Noah Rogers had a big day for them. Amador and Hamilton also scored. Didn't think they ran the ball particularly well. Didn't think they ran block, but they did a really nice job in pass protection, all things considered. Whaley and Hall in double digits in tackles for them. Tackle for loss goes to McCarthrins. They had no sacks. And Aiden Hall had the interception that was almost a pick 6. But we come out on top with the victory. We'll get Noah Rogers for their thumbnail player. And I think we have to go Seabrooks for ours. Like, I don't know how you can really do anything other than him. So we'll go ahead and find Noah Rogers. Get this one here for him. And then we'll do, we'll probably just do the same play, jump in here to, if I can get something here of Seabrooks. I don't really think so. Maybe there at the end. Let's see. I think that's something we can work with right here. So a tight, hard victory against what's going to be one of the worst teams on the schedule this year. Not the best in the world to start things off with, but you take a victory when you can get it. They had their moments. It's a tough to defend team though. Like the scheme is pretty nice. Let's advance a week. We at least shouldn't drop out of the top 25. So it took us till we got our 7th win last year, I believe, before we got into that top 25. Looking good in recruiting so far. It looks like we're falling there for a day. I think he's one of the guys that we're not really recruiting, though. Just kind of have on the board up to B+ championship contender. That feels good to see. Got to get that brand exposure up, man. Next game will be here against Charlotte. We'll take a look at stats. Well, we've seen the stats, so I don't have to really go back over that again. We'll take a look at the scores, then take a look at recruiting, see if there's anything we need to switch up. Big win there for USC. Nebraska over Bowling Green. Duke gets to 3-0. Hard-fought win there over Illinois. South Carolina with a big victory. Florida looked good. Miami bounced back. SMU with a win. Oklahoma over Michigan. So Oklahoma's now the #1 team in the country. That's despite Georgia getting a win, but an impressive victory here for the Sooners. They go to the big house and get a victory. Bryce Underwood, 2 touchdowns, interception. They have a new starting quarterback here in Oklahoma, Welliver. Looks like he got the job done. Good day for Buckley. Yeah, just a huge day there for Bryson Washington. $177 and a score. So big victory there. Georgia again with the win. Iowa State over Iowa. BYU survives. Oregon undefeated still. Penn State barely gets by Temple. Wow. Clemson rebounds the win over Georgia Southern. There's our win. Arizona State is 0-2, but they have played A&M and Georgia extremely tough so far. Maybe be something to keep in mind on if they get hot later in the year. Notre Dame over Florida State. Texas Tech 2-0 after winning the national championship last year. Get a victory there over Oregon State. Ole Miss over Charlotte, and then Ohio State over Texas. This is definitely an upset on the road. Get the job done there in overtime after a late push. Julian Sayin, 2 scores. Had 2 more scores on the ground. Brandon Ennis and Graham are the guys that caught his touchdowns. Pretty quiet day there for Jeremiah Smith. Tommy Trout is now the starter here at Texas. Did Arch Manning transfer? Did I miss that? Going over, I definitely have to spend a little bit more time than looking at the transfer portal, especially for the quarterbacks. In particular, I went and found our guys, but I did not even pay attention to Arch Manning being in the portal. Just kind of focused on my own transfer portal stuff. Where is Arch Manning at now? I guess Arch Manning went pro, actually. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So Arch Manning, I'm assuming went pro. Don't know why he wouldn't have, but I guess that does make sense. So that's on me. Heisman watch. Big changes here. Gunnar Stockton, London Humphreys here at the top. Julian Sayin is up to 3. Carson Hansen from Arkansas, running back. 200 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. A good day for him. C.J. Carr is now up. We can take a look at our players of the week. I actually did not do this coming into this. So week 0 was Travis Bates, Jake Godfrey. I don't know if we had a Big Ten game. We did. Jason Ball, Justin Flo. Okay. Week 1, we had Jeremiah Smith was the player of the week in the conference. Braden Turner there as well. It was Deshaun Middlebrooks, and Jeremiah Smith actually wins it nationally there as well. He's done that several times. Week 2, Landon Rolden from Georgia, 11 catches, $183, 3 receiving touchdowns. As the offensive national player of the week, Ashton McShane is defensively. The Big Ten, you got Elijah Palmer and Emmett Johnson. Okay. Take a look at our recruiting again here. So Stenerud, we're looking great to get that. We're the only people recruiting him at all, which is nice. Brian Volt, looks like Michigan State is starting to overcome us here a bit. So conference prestige is his other one. We don't really know what his other point is. Hopefully it's not something like playing style. So we're leading there. That's to me, that's looking towards it being a Michigan State win. Keglar, we're looking good for that. Juan Pasco, looking good for him. George North, looking really good for that. Deshaun Rice, looking good for the quarterback. Devy, we're having a hard time jumping over Wisconsin. I mean, we're giving max points, and they're still just running away with that. Not running away with it. There's Mooney. We have fallen behind Ohio State. They've got the big jump on us in this past week. Might give it another week, but I mean, at some point you have to cut your losses. Prince, we could probably get back into. Duarte could maybe get back into. Here comes LSU there for Allen. Today we're not recruiting. Tompkins looking okay there. So it's like, do you go ahead and do you take the plunge here on Mooney and just it is what it is? That would give you 2 edge rushers that we're pretty much giving up on. They will give it another week, but we're probably going to have to, if we're not making a move past Wisconsin, I think the next time we see them or advance the week, I think it'd be time to just dump both of these guys, maybe try to find somebody else. that would suck. Ogbu is another edge rusher type, so we're at least looking good for him. This is all I can do, try to squeeze it. We're going after some big fish for sure. Like right now, I feel great about getting Stenerud, feel great about getting Keglar, feel pretty good about getting Pasco, feel great about getting North, Rice, feel good about getting Gantz. That'd be 6. Ogbu, we'll see. Allen, that's going to be, I don't know if maybe LSU just offered, and that's why they took such a big jump. We're probably looking at 6 or 7 guys that you feel pretty good about getting here that are 4 stars. We're going to have to, got to make a decision. I'm trying to be really fluid with how we're looking at recruiting. I do not want us to fall behind, and then you're kind of chasing that depth later, just in case we have a bunch of transfers out. Maybe we don't, but I'm sure that we're going to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up working out. But I'm gonna have to be fluid with guys like Divvy and Mooney, because we just don't, like, if Ohio State is taking that big of a jump, then we're in trouble. We're not really making a move here on Wisconsin. Late moves can happen, but yeah, we need some of these guys to kind of make a decision and help us out. I don't think I can't put any more hours onto anybody. That's not, I don't have the other recruiting architect. The elite recruiter is when you can start putting increased weekly hours. So even then, it's still, you're talking about having to put all kinds of points in down there. So it is what it is. Got 24 points to spend. Do we want to spend it on anything right now? So I can't even unlock Motivator if I wanted to. Let's do power move and hit power. I think defensive line I think would be really good. That's such a weird thing to give secondary for that first spin. Let's do defense there. We got 2 more upgrades we can do. I think just loading up on this offensive line I think would be great as well. Because I think that's how I eventually want to, I mean, not eventually, that's how I want to build this team, is trying to get these offensive and defensive players, defensive and offensive line up, because I think that's the hardest thing to recruit at the high end level. So already, even with the boost, pretty much all these guys are up at least 2 or 3 points, which is solid. Defensively, like it's kind of 1 or 2 for most of these guys. Shout out to Seabrooks, though. Really good start there for him. Excited to see how that ends up developing, but that'll do it here for this episode. First game of year 2, excuse me. We do get a victory. Next one, we get what should, in theory, be an easier win here over Charlotte. And then the schedule is going to start picking up. After that, we get a road trip to Notre Dame. I think that's going to be a very tough one for us to win. And it's Washington, who we owe a beatdown after what they did to us last year. Maryland, Wisconsin. So that 4-game stretch, certainly looking to win 3 of them. We should beat Charlotte. That would put us at 5 wins already. Couple of tough road games. After that, Penn State's going to be really tough to beat on the road. We get Indiana on the road this year. Obviously, the goal is to get 10 wins. I think a realistic goal and expectation, let's say we beat Charlotte 2-0. Say we can beat Maryland and Wisconsin. That would be 4 wins, even if we lost both of these. I figure we'll find a way to beat either UCLA or Iowa. That would give us 5. We should be able to get back to bowl eligibility, but I do think that a 9-3 regular season would be an excellent effort this year. But we got to keep building. I'm trying to get off of that 3-star. We need more recruiting points if we're going to start making a move. A 6 or 7 win, we might drop back down to 2.5 stars, might lose some recruiting hours, and that is not what we are trying to do. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. If you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Leave me feedback in the comment section down below, and check out my Seattle Mariners franchise on MLB The Show 25. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, peace.